Hello everyone and welcome back to Cafe Greatness for episode number 2. This book is a classic. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's actually one of my favorite books because life matters if we have good social life, fulfilling one, and as well meeting inspiring people around us. So let's dive straight in. Dale Carnegie, you heard about him, I'm pretty sure. He was born in 1888. He wrote over 10 books about success and social relationships. This book was actually published almost, bear with me, 100 years ago in 1936. And he was sold over 50 million times. The fun fact is I talked about this book to one of my friends last week, and she said, yeah, I just read this book again. So the philosophy behind that is when you have a great book, you want to get back to the book, okay? If you have a good book, you want to protect it and you want to get back to it. Even if you are traveling around the world, leave it at your friend or your family place and you will get back to it. Today we are going to review the first two parts of the books, which are fundamental techniques in handling people, and the second part, 6 ways to make people like you. We will review in another videos part 3 and part 4 at a later stage in 2019. Let's look at one of the most famous quotes from Dale Carnegie, which is very inspiring from the get-go. You can make more friends in 2 months than you made in the last 2 years. If you become interested into other people. This is the key here. And all the strategies we're going to talk about today are focusing on others. Part number 1, fundamental techniques in handling people. Takeaway number 1, don't criticize, condemn, or complain. I'm guessing no one likes to be around negative people. So you don't want to be this person in a social group. You want to be positive. You want to find qualities in others' behavior and try to understand what motivates people to think this way. Ultimately, if this person is a pain in the neck, you want to dissociate and move on with your life. Strategy number 2 is give honest and sincere appreciation. Here, what is important is to make a difference between sincerity and flattery. Flattery is a way of praising people, but in an insincere way, in a fake way that no one likes, because you can feel, you can understand that is not sincere at all. So you want to be genuine, you want to be straightforward, honest about what you appreciate in someone else. The third one is arouse in the other person eager want. So you really want to figure out what this person is chasing, what is this person's goal and dream, and you want to help them to achieve their dreams. It's the best way to make friends, okay? If someone wants to be a marathon runner, maybe you want to share tips and your experience of running marathons. Whatever is your strategy, you want to focus on what someone else wants in the first place. So let's quickly review the fundamental techniques in handling people. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Give honest and sincere appreciation. Arouse in the other person eager want. Let's focus right now on the 6 ways to make people like you, which is the part number 2 of this book. The first strategy is to become genuinely interested into other people, what someone else wants to talk about, okay? And you want to start with that. You want to start with what makes someone tick, what is driving them, their passion, their priorities. The second way of making people like you is pretty obvious. You want to smile. You want to be someone which feels good to be around. This strategy is pretty much self-explanatory. There is some power into smiling, and even over the phone. Sometimes you call up your client, and if you smile, it is said that the smile is heard over the phone, and there is some truth to that. You really want to be someone who is likable, and smiling is a big part of that. So the third strategy is to correctly remember people's name. You want to maybe make someone repeat and even spell his or her name in order to make sure you picture it correctly in your mind, because everyone cares about his own name or her own name. The way number 4 is to be a good listener, and it's something we already pretty much explained before. It's very simple to focus on what passionates someone else, and you really want to start with that. We have multiple ways to break the ice, and asking someone's preferences, line of interest is a good way to get started. Is this photography? Is this surfing, scuba diving, skydiving, whatever? And I believe it does give you the permission to talk about yourself in the second place. The next strategy is how to talk in terms of the other person's interest. Again, here you want to bring solutions, bring ideas to someone else's dreams, help them to achieve their goals. It's very much about that. Most likely good things will happen to you down the line as a byproduct of that. The last way, and possibly the most important way to make people like you, is to make them feel important. And this idea is definitively at the cornerstone of this book. Dale Carnegie is explaining that the feeling of importance is possibly one of the most important in the Maslow pyramid. This feeling of importance, everyone needs it. So if you can bring it to anyone you encounter, it would be a win, because in a certain way you acknowledge that they are skillful at something, they do it very well, and at the same time it makes them unique. Okay, let's recap the 6 ways to make people like you. We said become genuinely interested into other people, smiling, of course, it's a big one, pronounce correctly someone else's name, be a good listener, pay attention to other people's interest and focus on that in the first place, and as well give someone else a feeling of importance. It could be someone you just met, it could be someone from your family, it could be your wife, your husband, it could be a business partner. There is no excuse. We all have to do it on a regular basis. And I guess it brings fulfillment as well to nurture, to garden your relationships in a nice way. In another video, we will review the part 3 and the part 4 of this book. I will add the 9 principles we reviewed today from the part 1 and from the part 2 of the book on cafegreatness.com, free resources. You can already access to them right now. Thank you for watching the video, and leave me in the comment what is your favorite principle. Is it smiling? Is it giving a feeling of importance? So just drop me a line, and I see you in the next episode. You take care and keep reading. Ciao, bye bye. Start small, but start, and then you're gonna get momentum.